think you said we're trying to aim for like a 5.3, 5.4, something like that with the
Yeah,
spirit. So,
it's somewhere right in that middle range. I used to, and I've done a lot of reading on it, where people had talked about pre-acidifying your wort, so getting it down in the mid to upper fours to make your lactic acid better. So I'd done that a few different times and tried it, and then I was like, all right, well, let's see what the heck happens. And I just did a typical, mid-range you want to get so that you get good conversion. And then I threw the Good Belly Good Shot in there, and it did the same darn thing. I'm like, well, why am I going through all the struggle to get it down after, you want to get a good conversion, but then you want to get it down there ways. And it's like, if I can just do a regular thing and throw the Good Belly in, and it's still going to get me to the pH in 24 hours, then let's do it. So we had to talk about the crush. My mill did not want to work today. Finally got it to go.
oh man.
But it looks like, I'm just kind of looking through. Everything seems to be crushed. I don't see it's opened up. The center's pretty good. So not very fine. That was the thing is could not get, and you would think the smaller kernels of the wheat would drop in, even though this is,
Yeah.
So my meeting alert just came up and said it's, did you get an alert on your side too?
Yeah, it says your free meeting's been ended.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not really connected to the BrewTubers account like I thought it was.
Well, maybe that could be the reason why it wasn't letting us record, right?
That could be, yeah. It's funny how yours though could and mine couldn't. That's a bit strange.
It is.
Well, I guess we'll have to, or at least I'll have to switch over to the BrewTubers one then.
So I think I'm going to go with this with the crush. It was wide, and I'm going to use this as a test. I'm going to see where we end up. It's supposed to be a light, it's supposed to be a light ABV anyways. So we'll see if I get my numbers out of it like I'm supposed to. And I don't want to go too fine. Today's the first day I'm going to try with the that new screen, the big hop screen, or not a hop screen, but the big screen that's going in the basket, kind of like a claw handle design.
Yeah.
Figure about what the heck. I'll give it a shot and we'll see.
All right, now delivering the water into the mash kettle under leading. Just giving it a good stir. Alright, got a good recirculation going now. Go ahead and close it up. I'm just trying to normalize the temperature. Mashing at 150 today.
We probably up the HLT a degree just to let it catch up.
Sure, that makes sense.
I always find that it's so in this case I went 10 degrees over. I mashed in with a 160 water, but when I did that, like the HLT came down to like 155, and the mash it started mashing in at like 146, 147.
Okay.
And I always like to do it that way because I always feel like it's better to bring it up into the mash temperature than it is to go the other way.
Yep. No, I don't blame you. It is a pain if you overshoot it and it's like, all right, how do you get it back down? It's easier to come up.
It's even worse in the summer because when I was brewing with Gary last summer, that's exactly what happened. So what I end up having to do in those cases is top up the HLT with cold water to then help it bring it down. But it still takes a while because it's a lot easier to warm it up than it is to cool it down. It feels like
when you got that kind of mass up to that temperature, that's hard to bring that mass back down. Especially if you're not running it through a chiller or something else. That's hard.
Yep. And then me and Wally learned that um, I guess pumpkin is super absorbent when it comes to temperature, because we had a heck of a time. As soon as we added the pumpkin to the mash, we had a heck of a time keeping the mash at that temperature.
Really?
Because, yeah. And then it actually took even longer. Like when we went to go and move it up to sparging temperatures, it took a lot longer to get to that, where our normal mash out temperature. In my case, it's like 168 is what I aim for. And
Right.
it took forever to get from 150 to 168 just to be able to mash it out. Like it's weird how, and it was just, I've never had that issue before, and it was probably a once and only thing because of the pumpkin. That's the only thing I could think of.
I was gonna say that's the only. And you guys use those 2 containers of it, didn't you?
Like 50 degrees at night.
Right. I was gonna see if my firm chamber would hold temperature. I've got an old heating pad in there, and that's what I typically use as my heat wrap. Like you've got a belt, I use a heating wrap. And I think because it's so cold outside tonight, I'm just gonna bring it in the house. And I typically in my house drops to 60 some odd overnight.
Okay.
But I just wrap it up good with towels or a big blanket, 2 or 3 blankets, that type of thing, and just wrap it in there. And then I just let it sit until 24 hours the next day. And then I'll take a sample of it, check the pH. And by that point, it'll be 3.4, 3.5, 3.6.
Okay. I'll do the same then. That works for me.
I think it's probably the easiest. I might very well tonight just take it in, when I get finished with this tonight, when we bring it up to the boil here in a little while, I may just take it in the garage and take a sanitized spoon, and I may just one of those, just keep stirring it a little bit, like we were saying, put it out in the snow.
Yeah.
And then it'll drop down fairly quickly, because I think it's, like I said, it's dropping into the teens right now. So I can move it on the garage floor and just move it around a couple times, and she'll drop down, and I'll pitch the good belly, and she's good to go.
Okay. Well, I'll follow your lead. You ready to start sparging?
I'm a full volume, so I'm good. So I just got to let my grains mash, or grains drip out. So when you're ready.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do that now then.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right, sparging now. Just filling up that kettle. Very nice. Dennis is pretty busy. Oh, look at that. We thought the same thing. All right, so we're coming through the sparge process now. See if I can turn this light on. There we go. Starting to lose some light here. So we're getting up there. We're past the element. We're past the probe. So I went ahead and turned it on to 200. So we're going to keep it at 200 until we get to volume, and then we'll go ahead and start the boil. Dennis is at pretty much the same stage as I am. He didn't really have to do a sparge because he's got a different kettle set up, but we're trying to match our time here, and we're pretty close. So yeah, we're just delivering the rest of that sparge water, and we'll be boiling soon.
So I'm at 1036.
1036. Okay. So I was at 1032 with mine. So we're only 4 points off. That's probably more of a crush issue for me than it is anything else. So
Well, me too, I'm sure, with the wheat. I always feel like something's a little off when I use wheat too. So
yeah, especially at that amount, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
But that's okay. I won't complain with only losing a couple of points.
no, I think we're
Could be much worse.
We're at the point now where we're doing a boil just to kill off anything that might be in there. I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Of course, we have to chill it still first, but there you go. Just holding off at 55% efficiency. We're just boiling it for 10 minutes. You know, just to make sure we, like I said, kill off any nasties in here, and we'll go ahead and start chilling this down.
So the good belly, you don't mix anything up. You just chuck it in there as it is.
I'll shake the container. It's like a quart container you got, or a pint, whatever. I don't know. It looks like a small milk jug type of thing, right? The cardboard.
I'm gonna go do that now, actually, if that's what you would do.
So shake it up, take the top off, just pour the whole thing in, put the top on, take it in the house, wrap it around with blankets, towels, whatever you got, and she'll free fall. But if it's, it's sitting around 100 to 110, somewhere in there, mix stuff in and she'll go.
Oh, right now we're at 107.
Yeah. So I think I would pitch it now. I think you're good to go at that point. I always, anywhere between 100 and 110, I'm good.
Okay. I will go do that right now. I'm not going to move it in there in the house just yet, but I'll do it here on camera and stuff. Take some footage of it, because this is the first time I've ever done this.
Perfect.
New experience for me.
You'll be a kettle sour and full soon.
Yeah.
All right, so we chilled it down to 107. Dennis was saying that he usually tries to get in the 100 to 110 range. So just go ahead and take this lid off right now. I'll go ahead and pitch in the good belly. Dennis is over there probably doing the same thing. So he's off camera. But I could not find the good belly blueberry that we were going to use. He doesn't think there's going to be a lot of flavor difference that comes out of these. So this will be our variable. Mine is the strawberry banana. I've already shaken it up. Let me turn the light on here. There we go. I'll go ahead and put it in there. I'm not going to stir it, but I'm just going to kind of work it in there here. All right, and we'll seal it up. Let it work its magic overnight. All right, so I guess we can get started. There's the blanket. We got everything all
there you go. Yeah. Yep. I took mine off and started to put the heat to it just to get it warmed up in here a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just turning on the panel now. We'll see what it says we're at. I checked this morning, like really early this morning.
Yeah.
Before I went to bed, it was 91. Now it's 76 in there.
Okay.
And it smells like strawberry banana in there. It's awesome.
So that's the funny thing, is that you get it now, and then when you boil it and you go back and forth, I don't get the flavor of the smell to travel through. So that's the interesting thing.
Okay. I guess I don't have to actually stir it. pH at this point, just sitting there would be.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Sometimes I will, sometimes I don't.
Checking the pH after having the good belly in there for a day. And it looks like we're at 3.5. Just 3.5. So now we'll go ahead and start bringing this up to temp. All right, we reached our 200 degree mark, which is my safety zone for getting to a boil, and I go ahead and change it to manual mode 100%. We'll be in a boil pretty soon. Got the hops ready. Got Dennis over there all bundled up. Hey Dennis, it looks a little cold over there.
I just a little bit.
All right, we're at the boil. We are knocked down to 60% efficiency to get a nice rolling boil there. Actually, that's probably a little bit too much. So we'll go ahead and knock that down to 55. This is usually what I end up with anyway. And we'll go ahead and add in our hops. We have an ounce of Saaz. And then we'll go ahead and start the timer. We're just doing a 30-minute just to get a bittering charge in there. And look at that. Nice looking boil. Got a good hot break there going on. And man, the smell. You can smell that good belly. The strawberry banana is hitting me in the face, but I'm guessing that'll die down with some of the boil here.
I got my snow in my tote down here and my immersion. So that's my pumps in the back end of that with the snow around it, and 3 gallons of water. So
That's awesome.
we are definitely woodshed brewing today. This is rednecking it at its best.
Hey, that's awesome. Following right through with the theme.
Right? I'm right there, man.
All right, just wrapping up the brew day here, part 2. We transferred out of the kettle, chilled it for a little bit. It got down there pretty quickly. It got down to 85 in the kettle. So actually coming into the fermenter, it's probably going to be pretty cold. That's fine. We got another sample here. I did a hydrometer reading as well. Look at that. There's Dennis. He's got his yeast. Nice. Yeah, here's mine. This is the Kvike Berserker. Look at that. That's from that little flake that Gary sent me. That's nuts. And here's the Juggernaut. I'm not going to put both of these in there. I'm saving the Juggernaut for something else. But I just wanted to see it. Not too shabby for only a little bit. And that's all going to go in here. I'm going to put the Kvike Berserker into this one. And we'll see how we do.
So mine, I'm in the firm chamber, got the sensor on it. I don't have a thermal well in it, but I've got I got the sensor up against the edge of it. It's a plastic bucket. I'm sitting at 74. So I'm going to kind of let it settle from there a little bit.
Well, we're starting low. Apparently, this chiller is really, really good. The beer is at 60 right now.
Oh man, you chilled well. Well, thanks,
All right.
Matt.
Have a good night.
Appreciate it, man. Have a great one.
You too. See you.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, this thing is going absolutely nuts. This is the Kvike Berserker in here from Maniacal, and I've already had to replace the airlock on it twice. It blew out twice in the airlock. And what's wild is as I was cleaning out the airlock, I was putting I had to keep relieving the pressure on the lid because every time I would clamp the lid back down again, the dome would immediately go thunk, and it would fill with CO2. Now what's interesting here is I just put the blow off tube literally on this thing like not even a minute ago. Already the dome is popped back up. Already it's under a lot of pressure, and look at this. It's already starting to go here. Yeah, this is crazy, man. Well, should have done a blow off. Figures the one time I didn't do a blow off is when I really needed it. Yeah, this yeast is definitely living up to its name, Berserker. Hey guys, Matt here at the Brewery. This is the Tipsy Smurf. So, trying to do a grain to glass now, since I've been sitting on this video for a while, and well, it's now ready. So we'll put all this together. So as you saw, the brewing and everything with Dennis and I, it's been a lot of fun doing this beer. Grain to glass, yeah, we've been about, I guess we're going on almost 2 weeks. It's been about 10 or 11 days now, I think, if I'm doing my math correctly. We brewed this for over 2 days, doing the kettle souring. We fermented it for a few days. After that, I believe we put the blueberries in for 2 days. We cold crashed it for 2 days and forced carbonated it for 1. And this is the finished product. It's pretty well carbonated. It's got a really cool pinkish color to it, like a deep pink color. The head on it was a light pink as well, which is burning off pretty quickly. And the lacing on that glass is pretty nice. Yeah, it's a really nice beer. I've been sipping on it over the past couple of days, just trying it out, even when it wasn't fully carbonated, and it's been really cool to watch this beer kind of transform from the base that it was, the base sour, and then with the blueberries being added in, and then with a little bit of age and carbonation. Man, a fun beer. Had a lot of fun brewing this with you, Dennis. So in the smell, you definitely get a lot of those good berry notes. You know, I get some of the blueberry and just general berry notes in the aroma. We did put an ounce of Saaz in there for bittering at like a 30-minute boil. You don't get a lot of that in the aroma though. Definitely get a little bit of that sour note too from it. You can kind of tell that it's a sour beer just from the aroma. Let's check this out. Cheers. Yeah, it's delicious. Mine came in at 3.5, a little over 3.5. I think it was like 3.55 pH at the brew day. I think Dennis was a bit higher than that, 3.7. It's not super sour. It's got a nice tartness to it. You can feel it like on the sides of your mouth. It's just enough to make you want to take another sip. It's delicious. I don't think this keg's going to last long. You definitely get some blueberry in the taste. It's not as potent as I thought it would be for having put 3 pounds of blueberries in there. But it's a really nice sort of balance, I guess, maybe you would call it, between the berry taste and the sourness. Really nice. This was cool. And I love the color of it. It's just I've always wanted to make a red beer. It's not quite red, but it's just cool to see something really different than the norm. Yeah, we'll definitely have to try other fruits, other sours now. Really cool, really nice, really nice beer. Trying to think. So some of the differences on this recipe, you know, with collaborations, it's nice to do as much as you can together, but it is cool when you can change an ingredient or two, or maybe a part of the process or something, just to kind of see what it does. This way you can compare the beer side by side, and I'm looking forward to comparing Dennis's with mine. The differences that I can recall on this, we did use 2 different good bellies. I could not find for the life of me the blueberry one. He used the blueberry in his wort to sour it. I ended up using strawberry banana because that's what I could get. And I'm not really getting, as he suggested, I'm not really getting the taste, because I did drink it by itself. I bought another carton of it to try it, and I know what it tastes like, and I'm not getting much of that flavor here at all. I mean, if anything, if I'm searching for it, I might get a hint of strawberry out of this, but not really any of the strawberry banana. I mean, what's interesting is when I was brewing it, I mean, it was in your face strawberry banana through most of the brew day. Actually, I don't think that scent went away until maybe well after fermentation, actually, because I believe I was smelling it in the ferment chamber as well as it was fermenting. And when I took a couple of samples, I still tasted it there, but I think it did go away just after fermentation. I couldn't tell anymore that that's what I had used. So if I'm searching for it, I might get a little bit of that here, but it's pretty faint. I think it's probably being more trumped by the sourness and the berry taste, the blueberry taste. See, the other difference was the yeast that we used. We both used Kvike strains. He used Voss, which he got from Nate Under the Table Brewing, and I used Berserker that I got from main brew guy Gary. Tell you what, man, yeah, it just makes me smile. The Brew Tubers online club, it's awesome. We all sharing not only knowledge, but look, even sharing ingredients. So actually, even though this is a collaboration between Dennis and I, 4 homebrewers went into this beer, actually. So that's really cool, really cool. I love that. Well, Dennis, I look forward to a side-by-side tasting when we can get these together. But I'm gonna leave that here right now. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this, and had a blast brewing with you. I look forward to our next brew day, whatever that may be. And definitely got some more sours in my future now. You've certainly turned me on to the style. There's a little bit intimidated at first to go through the process, but you know, after going through it, it's not that scary. It's not that difficult. Just have to kind of go through it, check it out, and see what it does compared to the other things that you do in the brew house. So again, thanks, Dennis. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers. Have a good night.